Good evening traders, and welcome to the weekend market update. This is a video where we talk about the trades that we took for the week and also some of the ones that we didn't take, just to give you an idea of the sorts of setups that you should be looking for in order to be able to profit from our system. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the charts and start off with the euro dollar. The euro dollar this week provided us literally absolutely nothing in terms of a setup. If you look at the market action here, the price action, it's all over the place. We don't have any sort of nice momentum, and when we do get the momentum, we don't get the pullback to follow it. And remember that both are very, very important to us. So one, we want to see the momentum in the markets, but then number two, once we get the momentum, we want to see a nice orderly pullback in order to be able to take advantage of the move. And that's something that we really didn't get the entire week. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as you can see here, absolutely nothing on. Friday it did set up very, very late in the day here. And we got into this opportunity right at the end of the day on Friday. The market gave us momentum. We had a very, very nice pullback here. And then we got in, the entry signal came here at literally 11 minutes to 4 o'clock on the Friday afternoon, on yesterday afternoon, in fact. And I got long here on this candle, on the close of this candle, so open with this candle here. I followed it up. We got about sort of like 13, 14 pips in the money, and I was watching this quite closely because obviously it's the Friday trading, so I wasn't looking to stay in this for hours and hours and hours. And what we got is we got a pop down here. You see this move. If you look at the time at the bottom, 16:21. The next candle there, 16:21:25. So what's that, about 10 seconds? All of 10 seconds, and then a minute later the candle's down here. So I ended up coming out of this trade for about 1.5 pips profit. I didn't hold it up to the highs here, which is where we would have taken our profit target. And the reason for that is, watching this price action closely, it literally it jumped 10 pips within the space of a few seconds, and that wasn't the sort of price action that I want to be involved in. Now, I know that obviously in the manual and everything we tell you guys you need to be disciplined, which you do in the beginning stages. You really need to stick to the plan. You need to, not manage your trades as closely as I've done here, because what tends to happen is, once you allow yourself to manage a trade this closely for one trade, particularly when you're inexperienced, you start to trade emotionally. So you believe that you have a feel for a market, but actually you don't. And when you're not very experienced, as I said, you start to trade emotionally and you're no longer trading the system. Remember that we've been doing this for many, many years, so we're able to watch the markets closely. And hopefully, as you watch more of these videos, you'll start to learn to see how we do manage our trades. So as I said, in the beginning stages, you really need to follow the system to the book, which means you would have taken a loss on this one eventually. It falls off a cliff there. But what we're doing is we're telling you how we manage the trades when we're kind of watching it, in the heat of battle, in the trenches, so that over a period of time you can become more experienced and you can learn to exercise the same sort of trade management. Okay, so that was that for the euro dollar. As I said, the price action wasn't favorable. It was late on a Friday afternoon, so I ended up coming out there for just about 1.5 pips profit, not very much at all. And in fact, if you take a look at the forum over on the members area, you'll see me posting about this as we were taking the trade as well. Moving on then to the Australian dollar. This one here didn't really provide us any setups whatsoever. Again, it's a complete mess. If you look here, this is Monday's tradings, Tuesday's tradings, Wednesday. There's no momentum. The moving averages are always kind of intertwined. There's no opportunity to get in. This is the first time we get momentum over there on Thursday morning. However, we don't get the pullback, goes all the way back through the moving averages and hence invalidates the trade. And then we get this kind of price action here. And then finally on Friday, you get this long opportunity over here at 15.04. Now this one would have paid you. However, we did not take this trade, and the reason for that is that there's no great momentum going into this trade. You can see that the momentum going against it is almost the same as that was going for it. So for that reason, even though we got the entry here, yes, it would have been profitable. It would have carried you to your sort of like 20-22 pips profit target. For us, the price action didn't make any sense, so we didn't get involved there. The pound dollar is, we had some nice momentum in the pound dollar actually, but again, we didn't get the opportunities to enter. This was some fantastic momentum to the downside. We got a little bit of a pullback there, but it wasn't enough of a pullback, and plus the entry signal came at midday. And as you know, we don't trade at midday, so we only trade between 8 and 11 and 1 and 4. For the rest of the week, as you can see here, the price action is just completely ugly. There's nothing going for it. This was the move here. As I said, the entry came at midday, so we couldn't get involved there. Even if it wasn't at midday, the entry is still questionable. It's not the best one in the world, but perhaps looking at that momentum preceding it would have encouraged us to have taken it if it was during the trading times. But as it was out of the trading times, there's nothing on the table for us. Then moving on to, was that Thursday morning's trading? Yep, Thursday morning's trading there. You get a couple of short signals, as you can see here. One at 7:51, we don't get involved there. One at 8:34, that was the times when we could get involved. But to be honest with you, there's only a 3-bar pullback. And I've spoken about this in many of the webinars. We don't get involved in trades when there's just a 3-bar pullback. We prefer sort of like a 4 or a 5-bar pullback. Roll on Friday morning's trading, and we get some nice move to the upside. We get a nice pullback there. It's kind of a 3-bar pullback, but we'll call it a 4. However, the pivot points prevent us from getting into this trade, and it's a good job as well, as it would have turned around and taken us out. So that's that for the pound dollar. That then leaves us with the Euro Aussie trade, and the Euro Aussie again was a little bit untidy the entire week. So if you go back here, you can see that pretty much. And where are we? This is the Monday morning's trading. So if we look at Monday morning, nice momentum to the upside. There's complete momentum against it as well. So the pullback there, this doesn't represent harmony, so we don't get involved in that trade there. This trade over here at 11:05, that's outside of our trading times, and even if it wasn't, we wouldn't have taken that trade because you're trading directly into these lows here, and there isn't enough momentum to encourage us to get involved in that particular trade there. Then we step on Wednesday, Thursday, we get a nice momentum move to the downside here. However, we actually missed the boat on both of these trades. And the reason is we gave the webinar, I think it was last week, where we talked about getting in 2 consecutive candles in a row. So at the top, we don't want to see 1 red, 1 blue, then 1 red. We want to see 2 red candles in a row, then we'll get involved in the trade. And we didn't get that there, so we weren't involved in that short, even though it would have paid us. And then again here, we don't get that as well. So at 13.24 or 13.35 rather, we get the signal to go short, but because we don't get the 2 consecutive candles, we can't be involved in that particular trade there. It would have gone on to make us some money, but as I said, it's just not the sort of setup that we're looking for. Then when we roll on to Friday's trading, when we can trade, it was just Friday, no, Thursday's trading, nothing on the table there for Thursday's trading. Friday's trading, you had this up move here at 1:30. We actually didn't get involved in this one because the moving averages weren't quite aligned there. So for that reason, we chose not to take this long opportunity at 13.29, and as you can see, it would have gone off and paid us very nicely. Now, I guess you guys are kind of seeing a theme here. Sorry, let me just wrap this up before I talk about that. We then get another opportunity over here at 15.49, but we were already in the euro dollar trade at that particular point, and they ultimately were the same trade. They're both euro long trades. So we didn't get involved in this trade at the same time because it's ultimately just taking the same trade and taking double the amount of risk, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, going back to what I was saying, before I wrap up with the final chart here, you're probably seeing that a theme is emerging where there's a couple of trades there where we've taken or we haven't taken and it would have gone off to made us some money. This is very true. However, what you need to remember is that this is just 1 week's trading. Over a period of many weeks or many months trading, you'll actually see that these ones that we're opting not to take, they aren't that profitable over a long period of time. So yes, you're going to see 1 or 2 trades where they would have made you money. And yes, you'll sit there and think to yourself, well, I should have taken that. Next time I'll take that type of trade. And I guarantee you, the next time you take it, it will stop you out and you will not be very happy about it. So you need to exercise discipline. You need to remember that the rules are there to protect you, even though some of the time it seems like it's not, but they really, really are. Okay, so let's wrap up with the dollar yen chart, which is the final chart for this particular video. Remember, we only trade the 5 pairs at the moment. The dollar yen chart here on the Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday here, nice bit of momentum. You could possibly have got involved there, only it's completely outside of our trading time, so that's 5 o'clock. But we do have some upwards move there. We do have a bit of a pullback. The pullback's ugly, to be honest with you, so I personally wouldn't have traded it, but it was a valid signal there. But again, I wouldn't have traded that one. Then we come to the opportunity that we did get, which is this guy over here. If I just put in the line there, you should be able to see what I'm saying. So basically, this is the type of trade that we look for. So we can see that the market is clearly trending to the upside there. We want to get involved in a trade. We get a pullback to a previous level of support, this or previous level of resistance. So this guy over here, previous level of resistance becomes support. We get the signal to enter at 13.38 there. We're in on that trade, and the market literally just never looks back. So this was our only, well, we took the euro dollar, which we came out for, a pip, all of that. But this was our only profitable trade of the week, or the only real trade of the week, if you like. And as you can see, when you are disciplined, when you wait for the right setup, then you do get rewarded, and that's exactly what happened here. So we got rewarded with this particular trade here. It gave us, maybe a few minutes worth of pain where it went against us by about 5 pips, but nothing really. And then it just shot on up and literally never looked back. Then we come to Friday's trading. You can see there are a few signals to enter here. We didn't get involved in any of these. And the reason for that is if you take a look at this signal here at the top, yes, you've got momentum going for the trade, but it's kind of ugly price action. It doesn't really make all that much sense. You're trading into R1. Plus, if you take a look at the time there, it's in the midday trading, 12:35. So I was quite pleased that signal came at 12:35. Otherwise, based on this momentum here, I might have been tempted to trade an ugly setup, and yes, it would have paid us, but it doesn't really make much sense in the long run. So it would have just been breaking the rules, and it would have reinforced bad habits, which we don't want. Okay, so that about wraps it up for our video of the week here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learnt a lot from it. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to post them in the forum or below the video, the comments here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Alex Hong here, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video. Take care now.